Let's go. We're tuned in. We're live. It's episode 50 of Stick Kid Sports. I'm here in Tampa with Chase. We're electric because we have made it to 50 episodes. How are we doing today on this fine afternoon in Tampa, Florida, Chase?
We are here. We are ready. Episode 50. Big things happening. Finally got here. Took over a year to get 50 episodes in. Probably not the best in the world, but we made it.
Yes.
Slowly but surely.
We
We're
did.
here looking at the view on the water view. Looking good. Ready. We are going to the Tampa Bay Rays game after this. So it's going to be a good time. We had to get the pod in for you guys. But yeah, we are looking forward to the Rays versus Twins. We're going to be putting some on the Rays, to say the least.
Yeah, we'll maybe get some cool vids up in the St. Petersburg, Florida area for that game. But we're just having a good time. You know, episode 50, wanted to be together if it was possible. And look at us. We're making it happen. And it's an enjoyable time here in the Florida vibes. I'm not going to lie, I like Florida.
Yeah.
Moving down here in a few months. So just getting a little taste of it before I officially move, which is exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be big times. In a few months, we're going to be down here. Every episode's going to be in person, so it's going to be a lot different vibe. Obviously, a better one. In person's always makes the episodes a whole lot better. So excited for that. But for episode 50, guys, on the YouTube Stick Kid Sports, we are going to be doing a giveaway, which is huge for you guys, all the basketball fans. We're going to be doing a jersey giveaway. To enter in, all you have to do is be subscribed to the YouTube Stick Kid Sports. Comment on this video, this podcast. Cannot be any other episode. We will not see it. And make sure you like it up for the boys. And you guys will be entered in. We will do a raffle, and we will hit you guys up in the comments. So be looking out to see if you guys won. Enter up. It has to be under $100 jerseys, though.
It's going to be sweet. I mean, how can you beat it? A free jersey from the boys, and it could be whatever your liking is, under $100. So there's really no reason not.
Yep, we were checking them out. Your favorite players are normally sitting around 80 unless they're just some crazy rare jerseys. So LeBron, Curry, whoever you guys want, Jokic. We're expecting to see some good entries, but comment whatever you want. We will hit you up, get your contact information so then, we can get it shipped to you, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Plug it in. But yeah, guys, we are very excited about that. We weren't sure exactly what to do, but we thought this would be as good as it gets for you guys.
Got to. Come on now. We're also going to do a cool hype up for it like we've done with the hat drops on lives. We'll probably do a live for it because it's a lot of fun getting the viewers getting rowdy for something special for Stick Kid and our accomplishments at 50 episodes.
Yeah, big things. I mean, we've stayed consistent. We've been on that grind, so we want to reward our consistent viewers.
Yep. So let's get right into it. Let's jump in. NBA playoff time, NBA final time. We finally got a close game. We got it. It was so needed. And Nuggets Heat are 1-1 going to Miami tomorrow.
Huge.
What we feeling right now? What's the vibes?
Just good vibes. I mean, I wasn't expecting a win, to be honest, but we did put some coin on Heat spread and sprinkled the money line. So we were really feeling good after that game. 3-point win. Jamal Murray choked the last shot, but he was covered. It was a tough look. But they did scare us. They came back, at the end. They were hitting shots going to Jokic. We kind of lost that, hardcore defense that we brought that we'll talk about. But the vibes are good. Huge underdogs this whole time. And to go into Denver, such a tough environment, second game, to be 1-1 really favors the Heat, in my opinion, coming back home, especially with this momentum.
They've done it every series. And this was the team that we didn't think it could be done on because they are undefeated at home in the playoffs. And the Heat show why they're great on the road again with a big win. And they got 2 in Miami now. We'll see how they play. Denver, it was one of their, I guess, roughest performances I've seen down the stretch, though. I haven't seen them really turn the ball over like they did. And it was such a close game. Denver's very good.
Yeah, they are.
And they dropped that one. They had some miscues, I thought, that I haven't seen out of them in a while. So I will say that. But Miami, you got to have a lot of confidence. You got to go all in now, getting 2 at home here to take advantage and maybe even go up 1 going back to Denver.
Yeah, one thing that I want to bring up is the coaching. Mike Malone is known for being a good coach, but, Eric Spo, probably the best coach maybe in the NBA right now. I know Popovich is one of the legends, but Spoelstra is just at the top of his game right now. And I really think that his game plan coming into that second half being down, that defense, something switched. And they just turned up. because the Nuggets weren't getting any easy looks, whether it was Jokic, Murray. Murray was shut heavily down that second half. Wow, it was impressive. Like, we haven't seen that, very much out of Murray this whole playoffs. No one seemed to have an answer.
I think they were really jumping or blasting on those screens, making it hard on Murray. He couldn't really get over them as well. And then it was just having him not get a great pass off a screen to Jokic or get into his shot that he's usually used to. And whatever they kind of did, it was coaching a lot. And I'll say it here. I mean, Spoelstra gets another one, which I'm hoping he does. I mean, this guy should be right next to head with Greg Popovich. I know he's got 5 Pop, but the way that his path, Eric Spoelstra's path is
so legendary.
It's legendary. And I think, it would be 3 championships now.
I think so.
And I think that's just something to really put him right underneath or at the level almost of an Eric Spoelstra, in my opinion. So he has done, Greg Popovich. I really think he's done a great job, Eric Spoelstra, in his career.
Yeah, it's just his come up is amazing, and you just root for a guy like that, and then bringing, an 8 seed, an unlikely team all the way. And if they won this, wow. I mean, that just means so much more than, such a high-rated Spurs team going in, with so much talent. I mean, you couldn't say that this Heat team has tons of talent. No one would ever say that.
Gabe Vincent, man.
He's not the most athletic. He's short. He's the smallest guy on the floor. He's just hitting shots. He's one of the hot guys right now. And that's the thing about the Heat. It's every series, it's a different guy. The Bucks series, Jimmy. The Knicks series, it was kind of Bam, I felt like. Then the third series, it was Martin. Now we're here, and it's kind of been Gabe Vincent, Bam Adebayo combination.
Right.
And we'll see who continues on, but that's who it's been. And that's what it takes to win a championship.
It does. And I think that goes again to Spoelstra because, I don't know, I mean, you look at teams, top of my head, I mean, I'm thinking of like a Grizzlies team that's so heavily dependent on John Morant.
Okay.
Or, I mean, there's other teams we've seen that just haven't had playoff success that we think can.
Yeah.
And they're heavily ball dependent on their top 2, top 1 even guy. And Eric Spoelstra finds a way. I mean, he's had LeBron on his final or championship teams, yes, but I think with this team, especially in the past years, his success. He hasn't won any with this team, but
there's still been success,
right there.
Though.
He's been NBA Finals, Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
He had the worst was when he got swept by the Bucks. Was it 2 years ago now? But that was when
they
were goated and they won it. So I mean, I really think that he instills confidence in ways that most coaches don't know how to almost. And it's like, yes, Jimmy Butler's a great leader, but Jimmy Butler isn't as great of a leader without Eric Spoelstra.
That could be very true. I mean, not to discredit anything Jimmy's doing, but he has kind of disappeared this series. Not the playoff Jimmy. Bring me so-called playoff Jimmy.
Yeah, bring me so-called playoff Jimmy. Bring me so-called hero. Give it to me, man. I need it. I mean, where is playoff Jimmy? Let's get into it. I mean, I don't know what's going on. He's not wanting the ball. He's in the corner. Is he saving energy? Maybe because he's gassed? I don't know what's going on.
No, I think this is a very tough matchup. You see Aaron Gordon on him most of the game. Aaron Gordon's stronger. He is bigger. He is known for that defense. He's been doing a great job every series against these big players. LeBron, Kevin Durant, Booker, he's been assigned to as well. I mean, he's just very athletic as well, so he can guard these smaller, faster guys. He guards anywhere. He can switch every single thing. But I did notice that when KCP was on Butler, he started getting a little bit, attacking a little more. So if he can just get those switches, I feel like. But he's been doing a lot of switches where it's with Bam, and then you're getting switched with Jokic. I don't think that necessarily works out with Jimmy. We saw it in the Celtics series where he was getting switches with Horford and Williams, and he struggled. He struggles against those length. I think you put him with a guard, so do more guard-on-guard screens, get that switch, attack a Murray, attack a KCP, use your strength and size because you want to be in the post more, force a double at least, and then you can make things happen more with Jimmy. Stop doing the Bam Jimmy screen as much in this series, I think. I think that could be an adjustment on the offensive end to get Jimmy more involved.
I like it. I mean, I think we saw that he loves that screen with the guard when he gets KCP and backs him down from like the key, right? And he'll go in and get a layup. That is what he loves. He doesn't love to pull up off a screen and hit a J. I mean, he's definitely going to be more accustomed to that. I think, in this series, there's going to be a game where he needs the ball in his hands, and if he doesn't have it in his hands, they'll slip up a game. You know what I mean? Like he needs to get the ball. He needs to understand what his team needs. Yes, find the passes when he's doubled. Yes, be a I guess a leader, be a rebounder, be a disher, but he's definitely got to attack.
I think
he hasn't attacked.
That's where it starts.
And they won, yes, but like
it's just because I mean the shooting from these I'm gonna say role players. I mean Gabe Vincent, he was 6 for 8 at one point. I don't know exactly what he finished with, but something very similar.
Crazy.
He was hot the whole night. Duncan Robinson came in and changed that game around.
Sick.
Jimmy Neutron in real life changed that game. 3 and 1 on Murray. You never see that from Duncan. Another drive to the hoop hard, lays it in. If Duncan can do that, you've got yourself a player.
You do.
Like,
what happened, dude?
I don't know, dude.
Because every year before, I mean, he's been what now? This is his 3rd or 4th season.
I think so.
Like he's always just shot the 3, and then he just kind of gets the he's just defending and getting destroyed.
Right.
But like he's attacking. Like he's making Jamal Murray not look like an athlete.
Right.
What?
I don't know. But I will say, he was fully out of the rotation before this playoffs. Not a minute. He didn't play.
Isn't that impressive?
Didn't play. Now here he is coming in the confidence, though, to have and go shoot these shots and drain them. I mean, he's shooting most games at a very high percentage, and he's just taking over with the second string. It's really good to see.
It is. That's what, when you look at Miami, how can you beat, I would say, a pretty deep Nuggets team, guys that can be heavy contributors that come right off the bench or, are role players in their starting lineup. That's how you do it. Yes. You have a guy that isn't supposed to play, but do this.
Right.
Because you're not as good overall in talent. You're not. So you need this to make it a series. And Duncan knew that, and he came in and did it. And we both looked at each other when Duncan had that. I remember the drive on Jamal and one. I was like, okay. That was not normal at all for you, Duncan. Like, wow. You
got to wonder if he's on some drugs or something at this point.
He's bulking.
Dude, he's
bulking.
Dude, he's out of control. I mean, after, doing that celebration at the Celtics, I've never seen Duncan Robinson do something like that, And now he's just coming out in the Nuggets, and he's played very well in at least one of the games, which is, what you need. You can't expect him to come out every single night and give you that type of momentum. But Duncan Robinson changed that game in that 3rd quarter. So I just want to make that known.
1,000%. He was a big contributor. And I think we also want to touch on Denver as well, because Denver Nuggets, yes, they dominated game 1 for the most part. They had it easy. It was at home. They felt good. Game 2, they're doing well. The Heat were hot. They came back. They brought it up at half. And then the 3rd quarter comes again. They slip up, right? The Heat come back. They take the lead.
Yes.
And then the Nuggets hang in there, though. They bounce back again, but can't get it done. Like, is there anything going on with the Denver Nuggets? Can they look at something and say, we should do this better, if you had to say anything?
I'm not sure, because it's tougher, I feel like, with what they do to, like, really come up with something. But what I just want to say is, like, it's so important how you come out, especially in the 3rd quarter. A lot of people say the 3 first minutes of the 3rd quarter is the most important stretch of a game, because that's how you're going to come out, set the tone in the second half, And it's also very important how you start the game, right, as well. And what did the Heat do? Went up early with Strus getting hot, and then they went up early in the 3rd. That sets the tone. And if you're the Nuggets, you have to be like, we have to win at least one of those first stretches.
Right. I think this first stretch is one big thing. I agree, because they lost both of them.
Yes.
That you look at. So that's a good point. I think another point you can bring up is Malone was big about it, but that goes into how aggressive you want to play. How much do you want it on defense? I just felt like they weren't as on the edge, right?
Okay.
Like there was times in that game where I'm like, where's the Denver Nuggets, tenacious play? When are they in transition? Are they pushing the ball when they get a stop? Are they getting enough stops? Like that heart, that aggression, I guess there's times in that game where I didn't see enough of it from them. And I think that hurt Denver in a way, I guess, down the stretch. But, you look at Miami Heat and they're just all over the place defensively. So it's hard to top what they did.
That's what people don't get. It's like Heat have the most heart year after year, no matter how good they are. It's like they are going to come outwork you every game. Nuggets are a better team. No one's going to say that the Heat are a better team, but the Heat are going to work harder than you and steal a win. Steal maybe more, as they've been doing all playoffs.
Yes.
So it's hard to outwork them, It's not easy.
Yeah.
They full court press. Gabe Vincent's all over you all game. All game. One of the biggest hounds I've ever seen.
I mean,
they don't do that. Nuggets are not full courting you.
No.
And
that's just you got to play your game, as everyone says, right? Don't let someone throw you off. But there's also a side of it where
you got to be aggressive.
You got to be aggressive. You got to just, if they're getting a stop, like you got to want to get a stop as well. And I just felt like there were times where they didn't, and that can come back to bite you in those small possessions.
You know who brought it in the first game was Porter Jr. He had a lot of blocks, deflections, steals. And then this game played 25 minutes, I believe it was. So barely, a little over half, 1 minute past half. Last game, he was very in the offense, very involved, which with Porter, if he can get involved early, it's a totally different game for him. He is better on defense. He will look to pass more. He isn't forcing shots. He does so much for your team compared to a game where he's not involved, a little bit in foul trouble early, which was huge for the Heat. But that is huge because he's their third best option and their best spot-up shooter. He stretches the floor, but he's huge. He's 6'10". He's bigger than all the Heat guys, and he was blocking things, rebounding. He had like 12 rebounds, doing it all. That's an X factor for them that the Heat, shut down in that game. He's the effort guy to me, him and Gordon.
Yeah, I think you're right. Gordon playing well.
He played well.
He's been playing well. He's doing more than he has offensively than I think any other series so far. But Michael Porter Jr., he hit it on the head, honestly. I mean, the guys, he should be and needs to be their third option in scoring. And that's just, he has to own it. He has to pride himself. And when you go for 5 points in 26 minutes and you're broken from three and aren't showing the effort, like at least put in some effort, MPJ. Go get 10 boards when you're in there and show that you need to be in the game in crunch time.
But why is he not in there?
That's the issue. Mike Malone's, something happened, right? Like he was not playing well, right? He's just sluggish. I don't know. He had a reason. Mike Malone obviously would have played him more in 26 minutes if, he wanted to.
Maybe. I think that's bad coaching.
Okay.
I think Mike Malone, I've said this in many series where I felt like the Nuggets offense was a little stagnant at times. And I'm like, they keep doing Murray, Jokic, but this game, it's not having that same flow. It's not working as much. Why aren't we setting more plays for Porter? It's a great player. Yes. They don't do that a lot. Porter normally just gets whatever Murray and Jokic give him.
Yeah, I think Porter can be someone that, if they want to, run those sets for him.
Yes.
Run those plays for him, because if you can get him hot, like I really think if you can get him hot, he's a Jamal Murray in the sense where it's going to keep going in.
He's very like that.
And if you only get, I only played 26 minutes, so half of his normal minutes, I would say almost. Yeah. He's got eight attempts from the field.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot at all. And most were from three. I want him getting some 2 looks, get a screen, go drive. You're big, you're 6'10". Yeah, when you're wide open at a 3, but let's get you going. Let's get some layups in you, and then we'll start getting some looks from 3 when Jamal Murray drives.
Sneaky athletic. Very sneaky athletic. He dunks. He does it all. He jumps high. He's got a very long wingspan. He can do it all. You've never seen him get blocked. Never seen it.
No.
He can get a shot whenever you want. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Involve him more if I'm the Nuggets.
I would agree. And I think another player I want to mention, as you meant a little bit, was Gabe Vincent and how much he has done for Miami. Yeah. The side note, because Gabe Vincent hasn't looked at him, undrafted, right?
Undrafted.
I mean, the guy's just someone that no one expected, even throughout the season. Kyle Lowry's on the team. That's who's going to get a lot of minutes. He
started the season as a starter, Kyle Lowry. Gabe Vincent was off the bench, and then
look at him now.
Yep. End of the year, Kyle Lowry faced an ankle injury, which put him to the bench, and they stuck with Gabe Vincent ever since. And
incredible.
It's done great things.
I mean, that guy needs – Miami should be just absolutely drooling over Gabe Vincent. And they are. I mean, you look at Miami, right, as a fan base, they're insanely hyped to get a win there. But, I mean, that guy is just incredible. I mean, he's hitting big-time shots. He's not afraid of moments.
No, he's not.
Against a great Nuggets team in the finals in Denver. I mean, respect to him. If he keeps this up, I really have confidence they can go get this one done, potentially.
Yeah. He's been doing well with not turning it over as well, which is always, a little bit of a concern. I feel like for Miami guards, I feel like Lowry gets a little ahead of himself and Vincent at times, where it's like, let's not do that. Let's not force all this action when you can just go Jimmy and see what he can bring to you. But he's been doing a great job, especially in this series, of not turning the ball over. Yes. But Lowry brings a spark off the bench and a commanding factor to an end of the game. He's very, very key to have. So let's not sleep on Lowry, what he does for this team.
He's just a veteran. Like
he's just such
he can get in, get a screen, and hit a big 3. And he's like, I'm used to this. I know how to do
this. Great defender. Kyle Lowry is a very good defender, very strong. Like if you see him, he is stocky, compact. He will keep you out of the paint. He's so good with those strips on the bigger players. He
Yes.
does that multiple times a game. It's huge. It's like those little things with the Heat, and then they go out and run and get a free bucket.
They do. They work together well. And I think Gabe Vincent overall, I'll say it. I mean, this guy's, after this series, he solidified himself as a top guard or one of the big guards in this league. I wouldn't say a top
Really?
guard. I think he's someone that you need to say, this dude is elite guard in the NBA.
I think
series.
Gabe Vincent is like what the Celtics wish Marcus Smart would be.
Yes. I like that. I wouldn't say I'm a top guard, but I will say someone that
guard.
needs to be really looked at as a great guard in the NBA. Really,
Yes.
Really a great guard. I mean,
agree.
This guy's showing why he's a starter in the NBA.
Yes.
Well, we talk about what's going on with Denver. You know, we talk about maybe it's the heart, maybe it's MPJ. But how about this stat? Nikola Jokic, let's focus on him because he might need to stop dropping 40-plus point performances.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a Ja Morant situation in the Nuggets? Nikola Jokic, when going for 40-plus points, is 0 for 3 in the playoffs so far.
Very interesting.
Very. What's your take on this?
It's very tough. It's like, how can you say that it's not his fault by any means? It's just that's what the Heat is more so giving him. I mean, everyone's tried it. I think he's done this once a series, and it's I don't know. It's just very hard when they're so all over Murray. They basically said, we're going to force Jokic to beat us. So be it. Let him go get 50, and if we lose, we lose. I feel like that's what Spo kind of had going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked, and it worked every single time with the other teams too. But it's like they can't continue to keep doing it. It's like they can't keep this up, right?
Mm.
So how do they continue it is the question. Force Jokic to keep doing this.
I think it goes down to controlling Jamal Murray and not letting him go for 20-plus points a game. 25-plus. Like Jamal Murray, when the ball's in Jamal Murray's hands, when we're watching the game yesterday, I just get like it. He has a great chance to make a really nice play. He can make a turnaround jumper. He can make a nice lob to Gordon or Jokic. He can make the right pass to MPJ in the corner. If you can get the ball out of Jamal Murray's hands more, that's going to throw off Jokic because Jokic loves to get those, dribble handoffs off to Murray. And then he likes to roll. He likes to pop. He likes to be in the right spot. So that I think is a big thing.
Yes.
And they need to keep honing in on for Miami to stop you or let Jokic kind of do the same thing and make sure he doesn't go crazy. But Jamal can't. That's the thing. He could put everyone on him. He's like Curry in the sense where he can still drop 25 even if you're doing that. But they did a great job last game, and that's I guess a blueprint that they should follow is really control Jamal Murray, and then Jokic will be a little bit thrown off by that. He has to be.
And you have the stats here of Murray's last game. He dropped 18 points. He went 7 for 15, though, 3 for 8 from 3, and 10 assists. You know, he's still doing exactly what he's shooting 50% almost from the field.
Right.
That's highly impressive.
Very.
So Mike Malone needs to say, why are we not getting him, more shots? I understand Miami's playing great defense, but you as a coach have to say, we need to switch something here so that he can get better looks, more looks. 15 shots is not enough for Murray in a game.
Right.
It's not enough. He needs to be over 20 a game.
I think Jokic needs to attack early like that. We talk about that start. Don't be afraid to go score the ball. And then that's when, Miami has to adjust a little bit because you don't want a guy to go for 50. You never do. I don't care if you're Miami. I mean, obviously Jokic might work.
I think they do.
Maybe they do. And that's, I think, what they should do, honestly, because you look at the stat. But, to a degree as a team, you look at it, you're like, okay, Jokic is going crazy. We just got to make sure we're aware of him a little bit more. And that little bit, maybe just that little bit of defensive, mindset switch, that's when, Jokic keeps getting his teammates involved because, Jokic needs to go for over 10 assists.
He did not assist well at all.
Exactly. Maybe it's 10 assists plus. I mean, the guy they'll win the game.
But they weren't allowing it.
They weren't.
Denying everything.
So that's the strategy for Miami. And we'll how the Nuggets counter it. I'm not Mike Malone.
It's really interesting.
I hope they, obviously we'll see. I mean, what they can do. But
you see Jokic and Murray, who normally do assist very well, but something that they those two have the ball 22 seconds out of a 24-second shot clock.
They do. I
think in this series, you might have to get the other guys a little bit more involved, ball in their hands.
Could be that.
Like that. Porter, normally when he's involved, it's just catch and shoot or one dribble shot. KCP, coming off a handoff shot. Maybe let them, do a little bit more in a pick and roll.
Be like a Gabe Vincent in a sense where you
Yes.
have the reins.
Let them
more
go and get a bucket from time to
Duncan,
time.
same thing, right? That could be a good, because what that does is then opens the floor up more, because now, oh wow, KCP's dropping 12 right now. Whoa, okay, well now I can't just deny Murray and look at Murray where he's at as a defender, as a help defender. Now I got to really be on my guy, and that's when Murray gets a one-on-one look potentially, and that's when he attacks.
Right, they're not forcing Duncan to guard enough. They're not forcing Strus to guard enough. They're not forcing Gabe Vincent to guard enough.
And that allows them to really jump those screens on Murray and be more help side
and energized on the offensive end, which is so huge for their shots. That's why they're hitting so much. Like, imagine if you're playing off-ball defense basically the whole game.
Right.
You're not on the ball, which is when you're really locked in, have to be, and you're exerting that energy.
True.
Huge thing that I think the Nuggets need to fix.
I agree. Let's get into it, though. KCP, should he get the boot real fast? I mean, listen, this guy, I will say this, watching the game, I think it was 4. It's at least 3, 4.
Yeah.
Fouls from long jumpers, 2s and 3s. I mean, what are we doing, KCP? It's 1 second on the shot clock, and I'm going to fan my hand out at whoever it was. I mean, Strus once. I think it was Vincent the one I'm thinking once. Of. It was 0.5.
Really bad.
Foul. Dude, you gave him 3 points.
From Curry range.
That adds up. 3, 6, 9, 10, 12.
That's the game.
That's
the
12
points was the game.
Insane. What are you doing? What's going on, KCP? Are we okay? Is something going on in your life? Like, do you want to speak up about it in the media? Or
you have to really wonder, like, the IQ levels of some of these guys. It's like you've been hooping your whole life to make the NBA, and you're doing this.
It's bad.
It's not like it happened once, guys. This was 3 times in an NBA Finals game. Yeah. I don't even know how you do it. It's like you're brain dead. There's nothing happening up there, and you're just, I don't know. Yeah. Dude. It's pretty embarrassing.
It's bad.
It's a bad look.
NBA Finals, updated predictions. Has anything changed for you? Are you still riding? We have our predictions. We have Nuggets, both of us. Are you riding Nuggets in this, or are you going to switch it up?
I think our prediction's going really perfect. We said they're going to steal one in this at Nuggets.
I said this makes it a series if they steal one. So now it really does, obviously. But
I think it's always going to be a series with how Miami plays. Mm-hmm. But I still think the Nuggets, as I've said throughout this pod, is just they're the better team. I mean, they have better players. They're the better team. They might be a little, not as coached as well, but sure. I think that these players are quite a bit better than Miami's. But I want Miami to win, so please prove me wrong. I'm sticking with Nuggets in 6, though, if I had to pick.
Yeah, I like Denver Nuggets to win it as well. I think it's just too hard to – we'll see. I think this game really will tell a lot how Malone bounces back with this, and I think we'll really know what the series projection is. If they slip this one up, 7 games is for sure, in my opinion. Look at it. And we'll see kind of what goes. But Nuggets as well, stay with them. Some NBA talks right now going on is something we also want to mention. I mean, there is talks currently, LeBron James to the Mavericks, or at least Kyrie pleading the front office and saying Mark Cuban drop everything again and go get the king at 39 years old. I mean, what do we think about LeBron to the Mavs or Kyrie getting LeBron to the Mavs? Is it possible? If it does work, is it going to be nice for them?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible, but it's like, you're giving up everything. I mean, you already almost did to get Kyrie, and it's already taken a turn for the worst.
Right.
So you're going downhill. You're trending in the wrong direction with Kyrie. Why would you listen to Kyrie and get someone and build off of him? To me, you're trying to get rid of Kyrie.
They are. They're essentially getting rid of Kyrie Irving in that sense. You almost have, right? You're just.
But they're not. They want him and LeBron.
They want everyone.
And Luka. How's that going to work?
You have no other role players.
No, you'd have no one. No one.
No.
You'd be sitting there with people I don't know. I don't even know, man. Really bad players. Really rough players. I can't even think of who's on their team. But Josh Green. They're saying maybe Maxi Kleber to trade, but Maxi Klebers.
Yeah.
It's just awful. You have no one else to go to.
I think that why would LeBron want to go?
Why would LeBron want to
go
go?
to Dallas. Like, what is that a championship? Like, let's go. Like, is that that's the
don't-
reason you'd think he'd go? But like, is that going to be a championship roster? Like, I don't know if it is.
I don't know if it is either, but I do think that he really wants to play with Kyrie.
Yeah.
I do think that he loves Luka's game. I've seen it like in the All-Star game. I think that they have a chemistry going, him and LeBron. And I think that it could be interesting. And having a guy with like Luka though does take a lot of the load off LeBron.
Yes.
Because they do the same thing.
He could be that third option we talked about last time.
Right. And we said that LeBron needs to be the third option at this point in his career to win a championship.
Right. So championship mindset.
But then you have no one else, though. If you don't have role players, it's not going to work. It's like the Suns right now. Suns right now. It's like KD has to get 50, Booker 50, then we might win.
Right. And that's not going to do it.
No, it's proven.
Yes. The Heat are in the finals, guys. That should tell you everything.
I'm saying this right now. It's been the end of the three superstars. It's done. If this playoffs has showed anyone anything, it's the two stars with role players.
And that right there, if
that's
LeBron James goes to the Mavs, it's not it. And LeBron James, if he goes to Dallas, they don't win a championship.
No, they don't.
So why should LeBron go?
He shouldn't.
I don't think he should. I think that they need to reconsider Kyrie Irving, potentially a move, get D'Lo out. That's so many pieces you got to move. I don't really know. It might not even. I don't think
the Mavericks, dude. I'm just trying to get
talent.
Dude, like I'm just doing anything I can to try and get more picks again. I'm trying to get young pieces that I can try and develop. Get Kyrie out, send him to LA. Dude, D'Lo is still young. I mean, he's not the most valuable, but he has some value. And then get some picks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're good.
It's the tough part.
Kyrie's not worth much.
Yeah. And the toughest part, I think, comes down to, though, is like Dallas just had a young core, and they said, nope, we are going superstar. So now if you, a year later, not even a year, are like, we ship him out, you just look horrible. You need to fire everyone at that point, like in your front office. I mean, you just went from A to B to back to A. It's like, dude, is that a bad look for you as an organization? Obviously. I think it is. That's just like, it's a sticky situation to go do that, like you're saying. And I don't know, man.
When are people going to learn with Kyrie?
Well, he's not a championship level point guard. He doesn't get you there. He's a great player.
He's fun. He's entertaining.
He's just
a cancer, as people say. He is.
Yeah.
We love Kyrie. We love his game.
Uh-huh.
But he's not good for a championship team. Right. To me, he just needs to be on, like, put him on the Pistons and let him go crazy.
Yeah, just hope that he
gets
the stat builder. Yes. Keep it going.
Entertain the Detroit fans.
Gosh. Well, yeah, that situation will play how it does. But NBA draft talks, we'll touch on that as well because that's getting more prominent. Obviously, you have the finals. That's the big things going on. But NBA drafts shortly after. And the big pick people are talking about is the number 3 pick that the Portland Trailblazers currently have. Pick, I don't know if they were expecting this pick. Maybe that's the biggest thing.
That is.
And with the NBA lottery, that can go that way.
Mm-hmm.
So as a Portland Trailblazers team, you have your guy in Damian Lillard, 32, now pushing 33 years old, wanting a championship. Do they trade this pick? What player could they land if they trade the pick? Is it possible to trade the pick? I mean, is a young team going to want, a guy, a big name player? What's going on with this pick? What's going to happen in your eyes?
I think that there's a lot of options for Portland right now. I'm not sure if you can necessarily go a wrong way, but to me, it's trade the pick and keep Dame, or you're keeping the pick and you're trading Dame. Dame has made that clear. He's ready to win a championship. He's nearing the end of his, at least his prime, if you want to say, but definitely probably getting old for his career. I think let him free or try and get someone and trade him. But if I'm Portland, I'm just letting him go. It's been a long time. He's been loyal to you. He's done everything he can. Just build up. Anthony Simons could be something pretty special.
Yeah.
If you get a Brandon Miller who could be the next Kevin Durant, do it. Take your chance. It's not been working.
Yeah. I think I'm looking at it as the biggest problem and reading up on it more like we were is the fact that you go have this pick and you're like, okay, we had given you the 3rd overall pick. Who can you give us?
Yes.
Who wants a 3rd overall pick but has an elite player that they can get?
Yeah.
And that's where it's difficult. And that's why this might not work out. I'm trying to think, we mentioned the Stones go send over Bogdanovich for that third pick, which I mean,
obviously he's not as great of a star.
It won't probably work out,
No.
which stinks because that would be electric if we got the third pick and added Miller to the group.
Honestly, though, let me propose this to you.
Okay.
What if the Pistons said we're going to get rid of someone like Ivy, who showed promise? He's a year in, but he doesn't, to me, Cade and Ivy doesn't seem like a good fit.
Okay.
And then you go and get more of a wing in Miller for the Pistons, who'd fit better with Cade, more of a scorer, and you give Ivy to Portland.
The next thing that bumps in my head is, how is Ivy for a third pick work?
Ivy was a what? A 4?
A 4. Yep.
But some could say he's better. Yeah, better. I don't know, because he has a year under his belt now and he's developed well.
And then now, so Ivy, you give away, Lillard, because you're at that point, right? Almost, or
I would give
Lillard's not happy with Ivy. Probably he's a point guard.
Maybe even Ivy Bogdanovich, who are two solid options for a third pick, and
someone else toss in an extra pick or
Shaden
a
Sharp
role player. Yeah,
someone of this.
For the Pistons, I love it. And then
it's not that bad for Portland.
So then, does Damian stay if you get Ivy Bogdanovich? Is he like?
I think he maybe consider.
He consider it. Okay.
Because now you have Bogdanovich, who's been putting up 20-something every night with Pistons, sharpshooter, not a bad defender. You have Ivy, who's developed well, has not been very injury-prone in his first year. He can play. He can bring you energy like that. He's been starting, has a little something under his belt. Then you have Jeremy Grant.
Mm-hmm. Piston. He knows the culture over there in Detroit.
He does. They have good chemistry right there with those. And then you have, Nurkic as your big.
Yeah, guard heavy. For sure, because I think Bogdanovich he plays that wing,
But Grant can play stretch 4, and
right. The guard heavy with
it's
Ivy,
probably not
Simons,
the best
and Lillard.
that Lillard wants. But I think it's hard to get someone to Portland. You have to get Dame out,
and that's the problem. A third pick isn't enough to get a big time elite star from a young franchise that is building.
Yeah,
who can you give up for a young franchise for that third pick to make it
you have to get rid of Simons, and you have to get rid of Grant too, dude.
You need to get rid of Simons in the third pick for something.
Yeah. I would look for Mikal Bridges.
I would like that for them. He needs that kind of wing, three wing guy.
Score, though. Can still score.
And the third pick won't be enough to get Mikal. So you have to give up something else. Like Mikal, or you need Simons in the third pick for Mikal.
Or send Dame to Brooklyn.
And that would be nice for the Nets, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice.
But they love Mikal there. Everyone loves Mikal.
Yeah, so it's tough. I personally think that with that third pick, they can't, you said, I just don't think they can do it. You're stuck. You have to draft, and you have a chance to get a Brandon Miller who could be a exceptional generational talent, whoever they think is at the third spot.
Get him, get rid of Dame. That's what I.
If Dame doesn't want to stay, then that's when you make a trade and you do.
Get young guys if you can.
Exactly. All right. Well, another point we wanted to bring up, I think, before we kind of get into stuff was, I guess, the Thompson twins, right? We look at this NBA draft as we label it and we put it together, and we see these top prospects with Victor Wembanyama at 1, a Scoot potential at 2, who is now potentially falling, people think, more than it was originally. And then there's these Thompson twins and Brandon Miller.
Yep.
What do you think about these Thompson twins? What's the upside to these players?
The upside to me is very athletic, 3-and-D, even possibly, I would say, scorers out of both these kids. I think that they're the riskiest picks maybe in the whole draft, especially for the higher ups.
Right.
But you could get, to me, generational talents with those guys. Yes, it's risky, but they have the frame, they have the size, and we know they have the athleticism.
Right.
If they could just keep developing their shot, they are going to be great players.
They're going to be scorers. They're going to be athletes.
Yes.
They're going to be winners potentially even.
I love them to be a winner on a team. I can see them being very Jaylen Brown-like.
I think one for sure goes top 5, and I
think they both will.
Whitmore from Nova, right? What's his name?
Cam Whitmore?
Cam Whitmore, yep. He's projected at 5 right now for the Stones. And it's like,
I don't think we're going to take him.
why not take a wing guy that can create a shot?
I know.
For the Pistons. Why not do it? I mean,
Whitmore can.
Yeah,
but he just doesn't have as much upside.
Sadiq Bey, I don't know.
I know. We get so many of these same players, and it never works.
We got to go bold, guys. You got to be off script a little bit. And let's be honest. I honestly think these two Thompson twins could be the best players in this draft class.
Whoa!
One of them could be the best player, and I think has a good chance to do it. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, everyone will say that's a terrible take because there's Victor Wembanyama, but there's something about him, the scoring ability, the way they can change a game due to their athleticism.
This draft class is stacked.
It's stacked. It'll be so interesting to see who is the best, who goes down as when they redraft it 5 years from now. Who's at the one?
Listen, guys, I know Wembanyama is a generational talent, and he probably will be the best out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen it so many times with these high draft people. They're just injury prone, which I could definitely see Wembanyama being.
Mm-hmm.
And it just never works out, But I can see the Thompson twins.
Come on.
They kind of remind me of like an old day Kobe.
Let's go.
It could be,
Kobe Bryant and the Thompson twins. You heard it here. How about it? Well, we're going to end a few questions. Our last question, we'll break into games because this one's going to be an interesting one before we go dive deep. But a question to propose here on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
To you, is there any team in the league that we see having a dynasty in the near future?
Right.
You look at it right now.
I want you guys to think about this, viewers, because who do you actually see that could yeah, they can be a dynasty here in this future? And I think it's really tough.
It's hard.
I think right now the NBA is very spread out with a lot of good players on many teams. But if I had to propose a dynasty that I think is the most likely for me to happen, it's the Bucks, even though they got swept. I just think Giannis can be a winner. I think he's developing every year, getting a little better every single year. But I think something just wasn't right this year. Something wasn't clicking. Giannis getting hurt early as well in that series kind of threw them off, got them down. They were in desperation mode, and Heat just kept going, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think the Bucks are just a great team. And if there's a team that I have to pick, it's the Bucks. But I could see them being no dynasties. It's just someone else winning for a few years to come.
And this is it. It's now for the Bucks. It is. I mean, you look dynasty. I think that's what you should do. I mean, trying to pick a dynasty that's like an Oklahoma City Thunder is just tough to do.
That could be, though.
It could be.
That's a good
thought
pick.
About it. It's just to make that pick, it's bold. It's just
it
different,
is,
right? But they have pieces that are young and give them maybe, that I'd say 3 years, 4 years. That's where now you could say dynasty.
Yes.
And that's why I will probably not say them, but that's why I thought a Bucks is a dynasty now. And I think another dynasty now, let's look at the NBA potential champions, the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
A dynasty that has been waiting to happen. Nikola Jokic at 28, Jamal Murray at 26, 27, Gordon right there in that same way, Michael Porter Jr. 24. So young,
man.
Under 30. They're finally hitting a championship. If they win it here, guys. This could be a dynasty that we are going to be excited to watch. A generational player. Wow. Nikola Jokic is someone we haven't seen. We have never seen it.
We have never seen it.
And it's you got him and you got people around him to go.
Yes.
It could be a absolute dynasty.
Yeah, I love it. I love that their core stuck together for so long too.
Yeah.
It's just it's awesome. It's awesome to see. Reminds me of Pistons, Bad Boys. It's just you didn't have anyone crazy special. You didn't. But the team works so well together. Jokic, yeah, he's a stud, but he's not the typical stud. You know what I mean? As you said, generational talent. That's different. We haven't seen anything like it. And we love the Nuggets here. I could see that, but it's a safe pick.
It is very safe.
Them and the Bucks, the most likely.
Safe. All right. College basketball, I have to hit it on the head for myself. MSU, Spartan Hoops, sneaks in at the 247 Sports rankings. Saw it yesterday as a top 3 team in the nation.
How cool.
How about it? We're going to do it, guys. I'm saying it here.
Yep.
The MSU Spartans with the lead of a Hogard, an Akins, a Tyson Walker. We got the backcourt back. We got a freshman, a young talent in Xavier Booker. I mean, our center position, that's something we've needed, right? Yep. And that could be filled if Xavier Booker is as advertised. with the additions off the bench of Cohen Carr, with Fears, with Malik Hall, a senior veteran presence. I would like a transfer, but we don't even need it necessarily. I'm saying it. Michigan State, 2024 NCAA champions.
Full thing.
Let's just say it early. It's early. We're 10 months until the national championship. But let's go.
Great pick. They did very well in this tournament. They came across Mr. NYC. God, it happens, man.
Mr.
It
NYC.
Happens. Yeah, that guy's the GOAT for what he did. And Izzo, he's just so much experience with this team, young, old, everything you need.
That's it. This is it, Izzo.
This is your last
push, man.
If you don't win this, Izzo, I'd be disappointed in you. I feel like this is like a must win. I truly do.
Yep. And Kansas, to put it together, Kansas is at 1 on the list I saw, and Duke at 2. So we got, Duke team that's landing. They just got a great – they have returners, freshmen. The problem is maybe you look at transfers. That's where they don't have something powerful, but neither does MSU. So I like – both of them are similar, but then a Kansas team scares me.
Kansas does.
UConn can still scare you, but they just lost 2 big players to the draft. But Kansas has got Dickinson along with key freshmen and returners at the guard positions. They're going to be really good too.
Kansas lost early in this March, though.
They did.
Along with Duke, but pretty much.
That was the shock. But they have them ranked ahead, and you always got to fear them. And there's other teams that we could think of.
I love to see Duke, MSU, NCAA finals.
Wow. They're the 1 and 2 overalls, put them opposite ends. And
listen, why? I have to say this to everyone that watches March Madness. Why is Duke and MSU in the same quarter of the bracket every single year?
It is crazy.
No, it's every year. There's never a time that you see them play in the Final Four.
It's nuts.
Never. It's never championship, never Final Four. They're in the same
Elite
quarter.
8 or Sweet 16.
Yeah, even sooner a lot. Sweet 16.
Yeah. And that's just like that marquee circle matchup and that everyone wants to see.
But you can't keep doing it. It's obvious. It's obvious what they're
want
doing.
it.
They want it every year. It's like, stop. Let them play later on. Especially if they're both like really good, which I think they will be this year.
Yeah.
Compared to like when it's like a 7 versus a 2. Because they're like, oh, we got to have it early because one's not going to make it. Put them on the opposite ends, please, for once.
Do it.
Because
Send it.
I'm rooting for both. And it's like one has to go out every single time. Early. It was going to happen again. If Duke won, it was going to happen.
You're right. It's pretty crazy.
I know.
I
hate it.
I need to change up this year. I need to change up NCAA.
I think every year I'm like, oh, they can't do it again. And then they do it again.
Yep.
I hate it. Fix it. I'm on to you, NCAA. I know.
NCAA, we're here. We're talking to you, spitting it.
God.
All right, let's go. We're game time. We're here. It's episode 50. We got to have some good ones. We're going to have some good ones.
Whoa!
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Sorry about your ears, guys. That definitely got crazy.
I had to. All right. So first thing we're going to do is guess the player, NBA player, and Ford. I did it to you last week.
Right.
Is it time for you to do it to me?
It is. It is. You're going to guess the NBA player. I'm going to give you 3 hints.
Bet it up. I'm ready. I should be decent. I make these videos, but listen, I'm no professional guesser, so I'm human.
I'm not going to lie. I don't have mine written. Don't have them written down yet.
So well, I could. Do you want me to flip the script for you? Want me to ask you a question?
What's the next thing?
So I'm giving you, where did these 3 NBA players rank in the top 125 list that is just updated this past month?
Yeah, we can do that while I
You can kind of maybe multitask a little.
Yeah, I can multitask a little bit. So go ahead.
All right, so next game I'm giving Chase is I'm going to give him, where do these NBA players rank in the top 125 rankings? This is brought to you by Ringer. I'll shout them out. Saw the list. It's the most updated list you can find. May 18th. They're locked in. They're really on their stuff with the rankings. So I'm going to give him 3 players. He's going to blind rank. He's going to do his best to try to see what he can land.
And I will land it. Question, though.
Yeah.
Is this, since we did guess the NBA player last time, it was a current player. Does it have to be a current player?
Since I did a current, you do a current? We could do next.
Or does it have to be, though?
Just let me know. No, it doesn't be.
Doesn't have to be?
Just let me know if it is or not. Maybe. Okay. All right.
Sweet.
So try not to look up on the screen because I need to memorize the rankings
won't.
as well. So first player I'm going to give you, let me pull it up real fast. The first player he's going to receive from me is Bam Adebayo.
Where does he rank?
This is May 18th. So before the finals started,
Yep.
I guess it would be like second round of playoffs.
Top 125. And it's all current players.
All current players.
Bam Adebayo.
And we'll give you for this, if you're within, what should we do, 5? It's like you get it. That works.
Okay.
Because this is hard. 125.
Within 5's a dub.
Within the 5's a W.
I'm going to say Bam Adebayo is I'm going to say he's one of the best centers actually in the NBA. I would say he's probably around that 5-6 spot.
Okay.
Just off the top of my head. But, there's so many great players at other positions. So if you go based on, say there's 5 better at every position is what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
So 25 better than him. I'm going to say he's probably around the 30 range.
All right. Don't look down. I'll pull up the list because I don't want you to see the other players.
Mhm.
Bam Adebayo. He's at, what'd you say?
30.
They have him at 19 on this.
19 best in the NBA.
19 best. Let me make sure it's right because I think that's what I'm just going to reload it. This is Bill Simmons ranking.
Okay.
That's where I was looking at it. For some reason, my screen went different here, but they have him at 19 overall. So I'll double check it.
I'm going to keep this kind of hard for you since you did me dirty.
Okay. I like it. Bam is at 19. So he was just I guess you're not too far off, but that's going to not work for the first one. All right. Second player is his favorite player he's ever watched in his life.
Wow.
LeBron James.
Well,
I put him on the ringer.
That is not true. That is not a true statement here from your boy. I have my hints ready, but I'm going to go with LeBron James being – this is for this year, right? Not at all that's what makes it tough. Is it I'm going to say that LeBron James would be in the NBA right now, probably 7. 7.
Okay. So an update as the other one, you just missed it. Bam Adebayo was there's 2 lists.
Okay.
It was being weird. So it was 24.
Wow. I was close.
So you were closer than 19.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. You were just off. So Bam was 24. He gets it wrong. LeBron, your guess?
7.
7.
7 for LeBron.
How about this? LeBron James. Guess where LeBron's ranked on here?
Higher, probably 3.
He's lower than that.
What?
They have him outside.
Where?
At 12. LeBron is at 12 overall on the list.
Well, I got it. Check it.
He got it.
Let's go. Snuck it
But
in.
can you that one is crazy to me that he's 12.
Dude, I was just going really quick based on in my head. And I'm like, yeah, there's definitely 5 better. Probably a few more. Probably around 7 should be safe. But especially with all the LeBron, they love him.
Right.
But I'd love to know after this,
Okay.
who's at that 10.
We'll list top 10. All right, yeah. So he gets that one. He's 1 for 2. So last player. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Porter Jr., a current NBA playoff player, top 125. Where do they got him?
No way they're showing this guy love. There's no way.
There's no way they're showing him love, he says.
No.
I'm checking.
Exactly if Bam is at 24,
okay,
Bam's a lot better than him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that Porter is around 85.
Really? 85 is the final?
Yeah.
They got him at 63.
That's
Michael
high,
Porter.
I feel
So
like.
20 more than that.
Wow.
And to give an idea,
I almost went hundreds.
Wow. Yeah, they got around him is Marcus Smart 62, Porzingis 61, Paolo 60, Claxton 59. So, and then right after him, Turner, Horford, Robert Williams are right next to each other.
Those guys are way worse than Porter.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of an interesting ranking.
This list is kind of whack.
Yeah. It's just the most updated list. So
that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Maybe. I mean, he's probably more around there. There's not as many great players in the NBA as you think.
Yeah. I don't know what I would guess. Maybe around that 70, 80 mark. I wouldn't have done 60s, but yeah. So the rankings around where LeBron you'd think would be is they have Jokic 1, Curry 2.
Funny how Jokic is one and he doesn't win MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's in the championship.
Right.
Oh, averaging a triple-double.
That's what I'm saying. So they're updated in May 18th, so that might have maybe made it something different. But we got Curry at 2, Giannis 3, Embiid 4, Durant 5, Tatum 6, Luka 7, Butler 8.
I like the love for Butler there.
Yeah, he's loving him. Kawhi 9.
Okay, but the thing is like, are you going based on Kawhi's injury? Because we saw him just in the playoffs, and he's better than Butler. He's better than Tatum. Yeah. He's better than all those guys.
It's just like currently right now they say injury concerns, on-ball defense, pull-up threat. I don't know. So
I guess they're really considering injury there because Kawhi Leonard's so good, actually.
He's very good. AD at 10. That's where, I don't mind that. Okay. D-Book 11.
That's
above
a little hated, I feel like, for Booker. He could be better.
I think he could be better. I think you could put him. Butler's getting a lot of love, in my opinion, here. Durant is also, I think
Tatum's getting a lot too much love.
Tatum's getting a lot of love. I think Kawhi could easily be right at Tatum's level or above. Booker could be, I think, in the top 10. LeBron, I think, should be at least 10.
I honestly agree with LeBron after seeing.
Yeah. I would think.
These guys are all better than him right now.
Butler.
They're all better than him right now.
I guess that's a respectable take. As a LeBron fan, I'd put him around. I'd probably put him at 10, but I like 12. That's respectable.
Who are you kicking out? Which of these guys?
This guy.
Who? Davis?
Just in the playoffs, but no, yeah.
He's better than him right now, though.
Yeah, he's younger, so. But
who else? There's no one else you could boot.
You think this guy should be up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You could be. It could be right on it. It's not a terrible top 10. Shea at 13.
That's insane.
Over Lillard.
Lillard's better than him. Come on, this is crazy.
So there you go. All right. Well, that's he was 1 for 3. That's a tough thing to do, though. I would say so.
It is tough, but
fun to do. Change it.
Porter's tough, especially, but we were close. We were 1 off on one.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Hints. So for this, guys, if you guys didn't catch last week's episode, what we did was Brad gave me a hint. I got to guess the NBA player, but we do 3 hints. So you get 3 guesses, 1 after each hint. If you get it in 1 hint, somehow you will get 3 points, 2 for 2 hints, 1 for 1. Obviously, if you get it wrong, you get 0. And we're just kind of keeping track. Every episode we'll be switching off. And I did terrible last week. He gave me some brutal hints, though. So
that was tough.
Yeah, I got clowned on the socials for my guess. But to start it off, hint number 1, guess the NBA player, Brad. He went to college at Kentucky.
Ooh.
So we're keeping it broad, tons of Kentucky.
And this is a current player that you don't know.
I haven't given you that hint yet.
Okay.
So you can just throw out any guess,
John
obviously.
Wall.
It is not John Wall.
Okay.
Second, he is not a current player.
Oh, God.
So this could make it a little tougher for you.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna. Not a current NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's some. I feel like when I think Kentucky, I think so many just current players. That's so tough.
Hint 3 is going to be better for you.
Okay.
If you can even think of one.
I don't think Redick did. He didn't.
Who?
Redick. He didn't play there.
No, he went to Duke.
Yeah, okay. I knew it was one of the Blues. I'm trying to think. I'm so current NBA player base.
Come on, you got to know the older guys.
I know.
This is you. You're gonna be. We'll see your guess after this one. Just throw a name.
Okay. I definitely know a Kentucky player. This is bad. God, this is rough. Oh God.
You're gonna get clowned on the socials.
I am gonna get clowned. What's his name?
I'm not doing anything like crazy long ago, just so you know, just to make it easier. I don't want it to be impossible ever.
Okay. Well, I think Boogie's still in the league, isn't he?
I don't know.
You might not
guess him if you want.
Yeah, I'm trying. There's definitely someone I'm missing that's like a legend Kentucky player right now, but yeah, I guess I can go Boogie for now. It's not going to be him, but
it is not Boogie.
Boogie's probably not.
That's a Kentucky player, so we will take that guess.
All right, for now.
3.
Bad. I can't.
Point guard that wore a headband. That narrows it down.
Or a headband. I just thought of players now that were at Kentucky.
Okay.
Now that you just like.
Well, you still need that, so.
I do. Point guard that wore a headband. He's former Kentucky player.
Yeah.
He's not in the league anymore.
Right.
Did he even have a good career in the league? That's the real question.
I mean,
If
I'm
he's
not
in the
making
league,
it impossible.
I know.
If you probably wouldn't even know that guy then.
True. I know. I thought of players. I was thinking of like these, I'm thinking of like Kentucky Legends guards.
The Harrison twins?
Yeah, that's what I put before when you just said like a point guard. I don't know why I thought it came to my head. Point guard with a headband. He's a legend in the league. He doesn't play in the league anymore. Oh God, I don't want to even say.
I think you're going to be disappointed not getting this.
The point guard in the NBA. Okay, he might not even have played in Kentucky. That's just my issue. But for some reason it came to my head that he may have. It's like if he isn't, that's just like total clownery.
Throw it out. What are you guys guessing?
Is it a Celtic guard?
Oh,
no, it wasn't.
Oh, this guy wants you to give him like 8 hints. Give him like 5.
I know. Oh God. I don't think he played there. Well, I don't know why I'm thinking of him though. He has a headband when he plays. This is why.
5.
Rondo.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Come on.
That was my guess. I just didn't know if he played there.
He did.
Hey, listen. Hey, sometimes, takes a few. Just you got to think about it a lot, hard. Headband was a huge hint, though.
Yes. Point guard with headband.
Hey, you got to do it somehow. It takes just some educated guessing. I thought of Celtics. That was when you said headband, it was really to help. That's what I went for right away. I think point guard headband, even if I didn't know he went. I didn't know he went to Kentucky for sure. I kind of honestly didn't remember that.
I didn't know they went to Kentucky.
Okay. Well, that was kind of sick. I'll take it. It took me forever, like the countdown. But
I had to do it.
When I said Celtics, what were you like?
I thought that you were just going to skip it.
Okay.
Because you wanted me to give you the hint. As if I'm going to give you a Celtics player. Like there's one guy.
All right. Well, I'll take it.
Huge dub for Brad. And that's how we're going to do it, where you can – it's probably going to be really hard the first 2.
Yeah.
I'll try – we need to do better on the second one where it's probably a little bit guessable, but it's tough. First 2, it's going to be really tough. Third one, it's going to be gettable. And he got it. He came in through the clutch. Older player, Rondo. Well done.
Let's go.
You get a point. You're up 1-0.
I'm hyped. All right. So last thing we're going to do quick is we're drafting an NBA team based on players in the NBA Finals. This is going to be fun. 3v3. So it's not 5-on-5. That could change it, but we got a certain amount of players. I got rosters pulled up if needed, and you're going to pick your NBA 3v3 team out of these 2 teams that are remaining. So do you want to do like a snake style draft for this one?
Yeah, we'll snake it.
Okay.
You can go first.
Okay. First pick, man. In this, I want to go with someone I think that's going to be a scorer for me, but also someone that I think – because I think shooting is just so important in 3v3 because that's where you're going to get a lot of your points from like the 2s. It's just so fast-paced. You get that board, you kick it out quick, you hit a shot. So due to that, I think a guy that is just always moving, he's a great guard. And it's the guy from Denver, and I'm going to go with Jamal Murray as my first pick for my 3v3 squad.
That's a great pick. I think he'd be an awesome 3-on-3 player. Mm-hmm. I assumed he'd go first in this.
Okay, I respect it.
I love it. Great pick. I'm going to go with, actually, Michael Porter Jr. Slasher, can get a bucket whenever you need. Always going to get shot up in a very underrated defender in a 3-on-3 setting with size. So I'm going to go with Porter Jr.
Okay.
At 2, I'm going to go with Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy B to hold it down as a defensive anchor. Get that one-on-one post-ups that he loves. Maybe catch a mismatch against your squad. I think he'd be very tenacious out on the blacktop in a 3-on-3.
Okay, I could see that. So you got Butler's maybe like defensive presence, athletic, and then
I've got our go-to
MPJ
scorer in Porter.
He's your go-to. Okay. Well, do I want to put them together? That's my question. I mean, this guy, he could be my big, or I could go with more of a smaller athletic big. But I think if I give you those three, it could be an elite trio. So I might need to steal them from you.
You get two.
I do get two. Let me double check who I got on both sides.
I already know who I'm planning on taking.
Because you know he'll be there.
I have a feeling the guy will be there.
Do you think I could take someone that like is a little injured, or is that okay?
I can't say.
I know you like that pick though, if you can take him. All right, well, I'm gonna go my next pick. Listen, I mean, I gotta take him. He's the MVP of the league. I mean, I know he's maybe 3v3. It could be, I don't know if it's bad for him or not. I think he can shoot, so that's big. It could be interesting. I think the interesting part of me can keep a duo together that is just going to be maybe elite in a 3v3 team. Let's go. Let's take Nikola Jokic at my second pick, and then I get another pick. So now this is where I'm like, got to take a Heat player. I got two sides. I already a big. I got a guard that can score. But, man, I mean, I want a shooter again, I think, because Murray can drive and kick here. Murray can do everything. He can shoot, but he's also going to be able to have the ball in his hands the most. So shooters left. Can I take an injured player? That's my question.
I mean, yeah, I think he's coming back next game. I know what you're talking about.
All right. So for a shooter and a guy that I think he's going to have to play the shooting role more than maybe he wants to, and that's why I could go a couple different ways, but I'm going to go with Tyler Hero. I'm going to take him on my squad.
That's who I was planning on picking up.
I didn't even know that until I just saw him on the roster. So.
Oh, man.
For sure.
I love Hero. With the skin fade, keeping it tight constantly.
I mean,
come on, man.
We miss his shooting presence, but he can do more than just shoot. So.
He's a good player. Really good player. Well, since you took Jokic, I have to match someone with size. So I am going to take Bam Adebayo. He can definitely, his role is to just lock down Jokic and use his size in the open floor to maybe catch some 1v1s, in this 3-on-3, which is huge for Bam. I think he'd actually be very good on a 3-on-3 team with how athletic he is. And he can switch every single thing. So that would be huge. I was not expecting to be able to get him. So I'll take him. So our squads, mine, MPJ, Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, so two Heat and
a Nug. And you went with the duo in Jokic and Murray. Plus Tyler Hero.
Yeah, he's back game 3. That's the plan. He's healthy. He's shooting it like he hasn't before. There we go. All right, well, tell us who wins in the comments when we post this up. I like that. That was kind of interesting.
That's what we had to do. I went a little different with Porter as the first pick.
It was interesting.
But I love him in 3-on-3.
He can be scary in the 3-on-3.
He could be. There's a lot of players that I feel like could be good in a 3-on-3, like KCP could be a bucket.
Yeah, just after these last few games, I don't want to take him.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, 3-on-3 could be different.
Even like a Haywood Highsmith would be kind of good. He would.
Well, you know what I was thinking actually was Orlando Robinson from Fresno State. Clown.
That's a great pick. Can't blame you there.
Man.
Maybe Zeller.
Zeller could be great. That hairline would just keep receding to the point where
he could reflect off the sun and blind your shots. That could be huge. A great presence.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it. Episode 50, Stick Kid Sports. So happy that we're both together getting this one done. A celebratory moment. We've done 50 of them. It's been just over, now a little bit over a year. And we've gotten 50 in. So that's really impressive and incredible that we've gotten this far in the journey of Stick Kid Sports.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for sticking along, growing every day. Steady. So we appreciate you guys for sticking with us. Don't forget the giveaway. So if you made it this far all the way to the end, drop a like, subscribe, and just leave any comment. And we are going to comment back to whoever gets that dub. It's going to be completely random. So make sure you guys follow the rules. Comment down below.
All right. That'll do it. Episode 50.
Peace.
Deuces.